I think we sound delicious.
We do sound delicious. We sound young and cute. Like Moana.
Yo mama.
Yo mama Moana.
Yo mama Moana, we sound so fucking cute. I've been
Staring
at the edge of the water.
Why can't I remember that part? I've been staring at the edge of the water long as I can remember, never really knowing why. I wish I could be the perfect daughter, but I come back to the water no matter how hard I try. Every step I take, every road I track, every road I track, every road I
leads
track
back to the
place I know where I long to go, where I long to be.
See the light at the edge of the sea, it calls me. No one knows how far it goes.
Oh God,
I'm stopping it
We're
here.
gonna have to cut this.
Why can't I sing like Ariana?
Oh, that bitch.
Oh,
yeah.
oh my God.
This is my best Britney Spears.
That was not bad.
I think I did it again.
You're overdoing it a little bit. It was close. Can I try?
Yeah.
I think I did it again.
You gotta. You're underdoing it a little bit.
Okay, we gotta meet in the middle.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. I think I did it again.
You're close. You're almost near Miley there for some reason. I gotta sit up. I'm gonna try one more time.
So I put my hands up.
That was good. I'm going back to Brittany. Ready?
Okay.
I think I did it again.
That was really good. Okay, she even did the head turn. Some Christina Aguilera. Oh yeah.
Kim, I feel like you could weirdly do these impressions. that was solid.
You are beautiful. She does that weird like.
Her voice is amazing.
I know.
It annoys me. I wouldn't call her one of the greatest singers of our time.
I'd
even
call
though
her one of the
people do.
scratchiest.
She's got a crazy vocal
Her
range.
voice
though.
sounds like if Lewis could sing.
I feel like people I would put in that category are like Amy Winehouse, Ariana Grande.
Valerie.
That was good. That was really good.
Thank you.
Amy Winehouse, Ariana Grande, Adele maybe.
She got a body like an hourglass. No? Where's Adele?
Let's do Rolling in the Deep. There's a...
It could. No, hold on.
You were about to nail it. You have to have more confidence, Kim. There's a...
Never mind, I'll fight. It's like really fat and strong. Someone like you. Ow. I had to blink one eye to get that out.
It carries so much like weight with it.
Yeah, you can hear like carbs in it for some reason. I wish not. Being fat really helps your vocals. Fat chicks can fucking sing.
It's true. That's why I don't know how Ariana does it. I can't stop talking about her. Could you do... Oh, I just had a good one. Could you do like Alicia Keys?
Some people. No, because I don't really listen to her that much. She's very like, she doesn't have anything new. Just that one impossible song to sing.
It's true.
Who else?
No one.
Oh, wait. Who's this?
Shakira. You're good at this.
Whatever. I think we've talked about this on the podcast, but in that song, I like when she says, Lucky that my breasts are small as mountains. Oh, yeah.
They're small and humble.
Yeah. Lucky that my breasts are small and humble, so you don't confuse them with mountains. La, 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 la.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
La, 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 la.
Did somebody? I feel like somebody else wrote that for her, and she was like, "What? Okay."
What kind of fucking moron confused breasts with mountains? So you don't confuse them. By the way, these are titties, not a whole mountain to climb.
I know that makes me picture pointy old boobies.
Lucky that my breasts. That was actually one of my best, I think.
Yeah, I mean, when you listen back to this, Kim, you're gonna feel like we had 9 people in this room. The best singers of our generation. We're all fucking here. That's crazy. She's talented.
Who else do you want?
People. Mariah.
Oh God, I can't do this.
Just trying to stump her.
What's that song? I gotta shake it off, 'cause my love ain't the same. No, that's it.
And
she's hard to copy.
Yeah, no, I can't sing for shit. It's something that I always fucking was jealous of girls.
I wish I could be a fucking phenomenal
angelic
singer.
little voices. Like, like I can't even carry a tune really.
I can like barely. I can carry
a tune. Just
I can
fine.
carry some tunes.
You can carry like something that's within your vocal range.
Yes.
You could carry that just fine.
Yeah.
I can't even really. I don't have.
I have
any range.
I have a friend who's completely tone deaf and has no idea, and I can't tell her. I mean, it's like a like that, like crazy. Like she can't hear it. She thinks that's what it sounds like.
Is it somebody who she thinks she sounds good?
She doesn't think she sounds good, but she doesn't know she's tone deaf.
So she thinks she
knows
passable,
she can't sing.
maybe?
She thinks that she can sing like you and me, but it's like a whole different.
I actually think I might be tone deaf. Like
it's it's a different level.
Okay.
You're not tone deaf. I feel like there's tone deaf, not being able to hold notes, and then good singers.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, probably.
And I think we lie somewhere in the middle. Maybe I'm a little bit past that, barely.
You're a little better, yeah.
But like, I mean, literally. What comes out of my mouth ain't pretty. I've recorded it before. I downloaded this app, actually. It's called Smooly. This is not an ad, you guys. This is actual ad I downloaded. It's a singing app where you put your headphones in your phone.
Yeah.
And you sing into your headphones, and it has a bar, and it tells you if you're hitting the notes.
Oh, shit.
And
that
it gives
sounds
you a
like
score.
Fun.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that thing where you just record yourself singing by yourself and listen back to it, and before you could get a few seconds in, you just fucking stop it and delete it really quick?
Yeah. The way I sing in the car is like, you would think that I think I'm like...
I've heard you sing in the car.
You would think that I think I'm a fucking superstar, bro. Remember that show in like the early 2000s where they had like... It was really fucked up, and I think about it all the time, where like a TV network just installed, like, it was like, let's say you were trying to get me, you would install a camera into my car and it just recorded what people did in their cars.
That's so illegal. Holy shit.
Yeah. And then like they would be like singing or picking their nose or like scratching their crotches.
Do you know how much fucking just like random picking my nose, finding a tissue for it, they would fucking
I mean, they would get farting, picking my nose,
being comfortable by myself,
masturbating, who knows? Who knows what I do in the driver's seat?
Fucking racial slurs.
Yeah. Just by myself saying the N-word over and over again. No one, not even road rage.
Just no honking before it or anything like that.
Alex says the hard R in the rap songs, even when there is no hard R in it.
I'm just appreciating the music.
My nigger, my nigger. My motherfucking nigger.
I went to see Jay-Z just around when that song was popular, and I was in like the 3rd or 4th row, and me and my buddy were just like some of the only white people who had paid to be up that close.
Oh no.
And like before he came on, it was just a DJ playing like popular songs. Mm-hmm. That song came on, and we were just like censoring ourselves so hard, and the woman next to us was like, y'all could say it.
That's the
like,
best.
Y'all cool. Y'all could say it. And we were like, all right, we got a free pass the rest of the concert.
And then y'all like were saying
like,
it.
Literally saying it the rest of the concert, thinking to myself, well, if the guy on the other side has a problem with me, I'm going to tell him that I had permission from this lady.
I think that's how it works. Just
right?
one. You just got to get one.
I feel like as long as she's here, I'm safe, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always an issue. When you're at a concert, you're really trying to fucking... I mean, you're a little bit darker than I am, so I feel like you could get away with a little more, but like...
No, I mean, I can 100% get away with... I say nigga in the Bronx.
When I'm like trying to jam out at a concert, really find it hard to censor myself. I felt really bad. We never talked about this, and it's a few weeks old now, but as a white girl, I felt so bad for the girl at the Kendrick Lamar concert who got pulled up on stage.
Yeah.
I mean, he put her, I really do feel passionately that he put her in a really awkward position.
He did.
And like to have,
what was the song again?
it was Mad City.
How does it go again?
I mean,
Does it say it over and over again, that song?
yeah.
Oh, it's like, what it is, my nigga.
Yeah, that-
What it is, my
Yeah.
nigga. Why would... Yeah, he did that. No.
That is his fault.
Yeah, you can't. That's like pulling up a white girl for the song, my nigga, my nigga.
Yeah.
What's she supposed to say? My over and over again? My.
I really do think that I would get out there and I'd be like, I would maybe censor it once or twice, and then I'd start to feel weird about censoring it. I would just be second guessing every decision. I'm not used to being in front of 50,000 people.
I feel like if I was white, I would censor myself up there. Not because I would feel like this is a weird thing for them to do.
Yeah.
But I would just censor myself because I'm like, I don't even want to deal with it. And if you look at both of the situations as her, she can go either way. She can say it or she can censor herself.
It's always,
nothing bad is going
right.
to come out of censoring yourself.
But I like to think, Kim, I really do like to think that I would censor myself, but I can't say that I know what I would do in that scenario because it's crazy being pulled up there. It's crazy getting to perform with Kendrick. It's a weird scenario, and I can't fault her. I feel like it's something I might fuck up on.
Have you ever seen the videos of like Usher does this, like Usher or Trey Songz pulling girls up on stage?
I mean, they make out with them, basically?
They fuck them. They body grind on them. You should pull it up. It's the most sexual thing I've ever seen happen at a concert. You can see the wetness in the girls' pants as they're leaving. It's some crazy shit. I remember I used to watch it when I was 16 and be like, I wish.
Oh my God.
I wish he would pull me up that.
He literally has a fucking sex chair.
Yeah, Usher has a sex chair on the stage right now.
Okay, so he lays her out on this
he's wearing all white
sex chair / psychiatrist's office lounge.
Yeah, it looks
unit.
like where you're at a therapist, what you lay on while they talk about where they stand behind you.
Yeah, he's dressed in all white in a fucking beater.
Which means he definitely has a herpes outbreak right now. I'd be like, ew, herpaderp, get out. Don't your fucking rash on me.
Oh my God, Kim, you'd be sliding out of that chair right now. Let's not kid ourselves.
It is a leather chair, so I would be slipping on it. Baby.
I want to fast forward to when I want to see him grind on this bitch.
Yeah, because he takes his time. He's foreplaying her. He spread her legs.
Oh my God, okay, so
he spread her leg. Now he's sitting on her lap, essentially, in between her legs. He's laying his back down.
Yeah.
Now his back is on her chest, and they're in the chair.
She's rubbing up on him.
She's rubbing up on his back. He's rubbing up on her.
He is sweating all over her.
He looks great.
He's dripping mounds of sweat
on her. He's so cute. Herpes and all.
He is pretty cute.
He's cute, right? His little dimples.
Yeah, he's a cute dude. I actually feel like he's gotten better looking as he gets older.
Usher can get it during a non-outbreak. This girl has no idea she's so close to an STD.
Oh my God, she's so close to coming though. I mean, she's just grinding her hips on this fucking sex chair on stage in front of presumably
so many people.
A lot of people. She's so comfortable with her sexuality, man, to feel that way. She's clearly very hot.
Do you think that they fucked after this? I think this is good, but do you think they fucked after this?
I feel I mean, it was his call, I guess.
What?
It was probably just his call. If he felt like it, then yeah.
Is that it for the grind? Oh God!
Oh, he takes her up out of the chair.
Oh, now she's on him. She's pretty.
So she straddles him entirely on the chair.
She's straddling him now. She's riding him
really hard.
This is a concert, you guys, by the way. We're not watching a porn.
She's got a towel around his neck and her hand on both sides of the towel.
Imagine if you brought your daughter to an Usher concert.
My mom brought me to an Ashanti concert when I was 11.
Was
I was
inappropriate?
The only little white girl there, and it was out in Westchester.
Girl's trying to get a check. You were the only white girl at Ashanti?
I was the only 9-year-old white girl, 9 to 11-year-old white girl there with her white mom.
I always confuse Ashanti and Aaliyah.
No, Ashanti's the one who hasn't died.
Oh, left eye? Yeah, this girl's pregnant with Usher's baby, like right now. She's beautiful.
She's gorgeous. Like, if anybody deserves to be pulled up on stage and
It's her.
fucked,
It's this bitch.
her. She was ready
This
for
bitch
it.
has gotten whatever she's wanted her whole life. Look at her legs.
Look at her shoes. She was born ready for
She's
this.
fucking perfect. Now they're hugging. He's probably like, let me make you my wife.
That must be almost like there's something that he looks out in the crowd and he's like, who's the girl who's going to be 100% down with
I don't
this?
even think he does it. I think that I know people that like, you know, I obviously know people that like sell out whatever, and they have guys that go look for girls and they just know what their friend likes.
That's pretty crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like they don't even have to look.
That's dope.
They just get brought back. And then he can
Goddamn.
probably be like, yes or no.
Those girls just get whatever they want, too. Those are the girls who get all the free drugs at parties and shit.
I've never had a problem getting drugs. I feel like you haven't either. Getting drugs, so easy.
I feel like as a girl, when you're like asserting yourself into a drug situation where you haven't paid for the drugs and you're like, I want some of those drugs, I feel like there's always an expectation. Like, oh, you're going to do my drugs tonight? You know?
No.
I always like to throw down and pay for my drugs so that I don't feel
I
like
get
I
that.
have to like flirt with a person or be like,
Well, that's kind of with
uber
anything in life
grateful.
as a woman. It just feels better to buy your own shit so no one's going, okay, what are you going to give me for it?
Yeah, I think drugs especially because then like once you take them, you're in a different state of mind, and I don't want to feel like I owe somebody some shit while I'm like in an altered, state.
Yeah,
Like,
I
fuck
get
that.
that. What was I really self-conscious? Oh, we should talk about, because I want to talk about why I was self-conscious during the trip that we did.
Okay, yeah.
But we should talk about that trip. Hold on one second. Let
No
me
problem.
end this call. Yeah, so me and Alex, we recorded this podcast last week, but we didn't put it out because it was a fail. What we were trying to do
We
is
promised you guys that we would do this
Mushrooms.
mushroom trip on podcast mushroom trip.
and we did the mushrooms.
We did, and we started the podcast too. We recorded.
We did.
We ended up recording for like 25 minutes or so, kind of waiting for our mushrooms to kick in, and we
25 minutes.
something like that. We realized
3 hours.
no, the recording was like 25 minutes. Yeah,
Well, that was like 30 minutes. We waited till at least an hour after we took them.
yeah, and
And you should feel them within 20 minutes.
It
I've
wasn't-
taken them multiple times.
clearly it wasn't happening, and you guys are not missing out on anything. The podcast was mainly about how it wasn't happening. We were
We just kept
waiting.
going. We just kept going. I think I feel a tingle in my toes.
Yeah. Just try, and then it turned out we spent about 3 hours just convincing ourselves that we were feeling it a little bit when we really weren't. It was really lame. We had drank smoothies with it and kind of fucked up.
Never again. And then, well, we almost got killed. So we decided.
That's a little dramatic. I don't know if we almost got killed.
We
but
almost got killed.
Okay.
We almost died. We almost
Fine.
got chopped up.
Fine.
We almost got raped in our ears.
She's right.
We decided to take these mushrooms and walk to Central Park. And if you've never been to Central Park, it's like obviously like an outdoor park, but there are sections where you walk into Central Park and it looks like you're in Savannah, Georgia. Instantly,
It's just
a city
all woods,
and
yeah.
then silence, and then just huge, tall. Like it looks like redwoods. It's like crazy. It's beautiful. It looks like a legit forest. It's like a trail. It's like a little bit of a hike. You're walking in like dirt.
You're in shade because the trees cover you completely overhead. Yeah.
It looks like the fucking Blair Witch Project. So me and Alex are in there. We just take the shrooms. And about 15 minutes later, we're walking into the park and we're like, we see the darkest part of the park. And like when you're on mushrooms, you don't want to be around people.
Yeah, we were very much drawn to this like little staircase that was leading up into the trees that just was in the shade, darkness.
Secluded, no people.
We were like, that's where we want to go.
So we're going to go over there. So we get into these woods and we're walking. And even before we saw this guy, me and you were there was like something off with us where we were like, it's kind of creepy in here. Do you remember us like kind of talking about it?
I think
And,
so,
like-
but I remember the one particular moment really well, though, when the guy crossed us.
And
But
as
yeah, it
we're
was a
walking up
weird
this
vibe.
trail, I'm like noticing that we're very much alone, getting deeper and deeper into the woods. And like before I even see this guy, it crosses my mind that maybe it's not a good idea for 2 girls by themselves on drugs to be alone in the woods.
In the most like quiet, secluded part of the park, really.
Yeah,
Like,
where no one can hear you or help you.
there's one path that you're on. You're not sure how far it is before you get out into the open again, and you can't veer left or right. You've got to just keep going down that path in one direction or another until you get out, basically. So
you got to go back where you came from, or you got to go through the woods.
Yeah.
Those are the only choices. There's no like multiple paths.
Exactly.
So me and Alex are walking up, and this guy, he's like 6'2", brown. He's like looks like a Hispanic dude.
Yeah.
He is wearing like regular clothes. He was just dressed like he wasn't taking a walk in the woods. It was very strange. He was like regular street clothes, like, and it wasn't anything particular about his looks. He looked like a regular guy.
He looked totally normal.
But the look that he gave us when we walked into the woods and he like saw us walking in, he came kind of out of nowhere. And the look that he gave us, he looked like he had found something he'd been looking for. He looked like the look he gave us was the look someone gives an animal when it's about to walk into your trap.
Yeah. It was, so what happened was Kim and I were just trying to get to the other side of this path, and he was approaching us from the other direction. So we were about to cross each other, basically. And there was actually like a little fork in the road over there. And when he looked up and his eyes met ours and he saw us walking, it gave me a shiver down my spine, the look that he gave us. And as soon as he was out of our range, we literally looked at each other and we were like, that is some of the worst vibes I've ever gotten in my life from that dude right now. And
it was so
just
bad
weird to both feel the same thing. And mind you, we did not feel the drugs whatsoever pretty much all day, let alone at that
moment.
point.
Yeah. And it was very strange because I never do this. And as soon as he passed us, I started running. I don't know. And I told Alex, I was like, we just have to run.
She was like, run right now. Yeah.
Because I just felt weird. And so we're running and I see the guy. I can see the guy walking into this trail in the woods, and I see him meet up with another dude. And Alex doesn't know if they were together, but the way they looked at each other, I know that they fucking were. I just know that they fucking were. I saw him meet up with another dude. So now I'm like, fuck, there's one for each of us. Like now we have to take down. Now it's 1-on-1, you know, like these dudes are going to fucking fuck us up. So I'm like, we have to run. So me and Alex are running through this trail in Central Park. This sounds so dramatic, but it kind of was.
It sort of was in the moment. And Kim, like I was not about to run, but your running kind of got me to start running.
Yeah, because I just didn't. I don't know why. I just wanted to be out of their eyesight, like, as quickly as possible. So we run deep into the I see this trail to the left. Mm-hmm. It's off the trail. It's like it's not a trail in the woods. It's like actual woods. So we start climbing these rocks and going into the actual woods, and we're like pretty deep. And I'm like, let's just stand here for a second. And I look over, and there is another fucking man in a bush in the woods, crouched on his cell phone. That man that we saw. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Alex, let's just get out of here. I don't know why these three men are like crouched in different areas in the woods right here. I was like, but I feel so uncomfortable. So we like start running out. So then I'm like panicking. I'm like, we need to get out of the woods. We're too deep into these woods. We're kind of getting lost.
Starting to lose my way. Remember, we turned around and you were like, I think we came from this way. And I was like, I think we came from this way.
Yeah, we were already too deep.
I listened to Kim though, and she was right.
And so I was like, let's just get back out onto the trail. And as we're going out into the trail, I see a couple walking. So I'm like, cool. Like, let's follow them. Let's follow them. And as soon as we get behind the couple, that motherfucker that was leaving the trail, the first scary guy, the had guy turned around and was back, like basically looking for us. He was looking for us.
He had turned around and followed us. And then remember, he left again, and
we found a spot way far away.
Hold on, I want to stop here for a second because this part was kind of weird. It was like a really weird intuitive thing where this guy didn't actually he didn't approach us directly, but we both knew that he was really bad news, and I don't know how to explain it. I feel like it was just intuition. Mm-hmm. But at that moment, I turned to Kim, and what I was about to say, what I really wanted to say to her was, I'm telling you right now, we're going to see him one more time. We saw him twice now. We're going to see him again. Mm-hmm. But then I realized that we had just taken drugs, and I was like, I'm not going to freak her out. Like, if I say that to her, it might totally freak her out right now. Or if we're tripping in 5-10 minutes, it might freak her out.
Yeah.
So instead I turned to her and I was like, I hope we don't see him again. But in my head I was like, we're going to see this motherfucker again.
Right. So Alex said that like the psychic she is. And we go far away. We're like, let's get out of the woods. We decide like, let's not trip in the woods by ourselves. It's too scary.
We'll go to a field.
Like a field in the park where we see people kicking soccer balls around us, you know, like things like that. Like a park where
people 20 feet away won't bother us.
Yes. Yeah. So we decide to find one of those. We go, I mean, another 10 minutes out of that area into the park. We settle in a very corner.
Kim, we walked 5 miles that day. So we walked a lot. Yeah.
So when we go to an area, we sit down, we get comfortable, we pull out our podcast equipment, we start podcasting, we start talking about this guy that just followed us in the wood because we're so freaked out. And
having this exact conversation, basically.
This motherfucker walks by us. But he walked by us not the way we came out of the woods. He had to go all the way around the park looking for us and come through.
How he could have gotten past us in the other direction to come. He was approaching those same woods again from the far side of the park that we had never even been to.
Like he was making circles.
It was the exact same guy for sure. And he was walking on this path beside where we were, but instead of just walking, he was
staring at us.
He had his head cocked entirely to the right so he could just stare at us, and he was just walking straight forward looking right at us.
He never didn't have his neck cocked at us. He stared at us until he went back into the woods from this sidewalk, probably 150 feet.
We had our microphones in our hand. We were staring at him, talking about him,
how he was looking
at us, and he did not cease to stop looking at us. We were like, that's the guy we thought was bad news earlier. It was really weird, guys.
It was so bad that Alex on the podcast equipment gave his description real quick because she was like, I don't know what he's going to do.
I was like, I said what he's wearing and all this shit. It was really weird.
Thought that he was going to drag us into the woods. I thought he was going to just grab us by our legs and drag us.
Well, I had a hypothesis that our mushrooms may have. I feel like
I've never heard someone call it a hypothesis and not a theory, but okay.
Okay. Well, I have a theory that I feel like mushrooms have like a spiritual energy of their own.
Yes.
And I think that they decide when you're going to have a fucking awesome trip and when you're not. I really do.
True.
And I think that they might have been trying to protect us from whatever negative shit was in the park that day.
Because if we would have been tripping and laughing and not paying attention when we saw that guy,
it could have been a different day, whatever it was. There was clearly a lot of negative energy in the park. We both felt it, and our trip decided not to work at all. I don't think those.
And it's weird because we tested the mushrooms before, and I tripped on them.
We've both had the mushrooms before, and we both tripped. I tripped on less than half the amount that we took last week.
And I tripped on one cap, a little bit, not barely, but it
was about less than half.
And it came in 20 minutes, and it did what mushrooms do. These mushrooms did not kick in until we were home and safe. I promise you. It was almost. Was it not the second I unlocked my door to the apartment that my eyes got huge?
When we got inside Kim's apartment, she started to get high, and I got a little higher too.
Yeah, you did, Alex. You were doing accents for like an hour straight.
I was cracking her up.
It was so funny.
It was great.
But yeah, isn't that strange that happened?
And yeah, I think we also spoke about how like we did have smoothies with them, which people say that if you consume food alongside them, they might not work as strongly.
I've done that before.
I was gonna say I've done that with I've had them on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I've had them with
I've done
amount of food.
I've done like an orange mango smoothie. I've done a peanut butter sandwich. I've done just straight peanut butter cups. I've just taken them by my hand, just a handful of them, just straight to the mouth with water.
I don't fuck around with bad product. Everything that I always make sure that my drugs are good. Like they're really good. I don't know. I feel like they were protecting us. I swear. You guys could think I'm crazy.
I don't disagree with that because there was no reason they wouldn't have kicked in.
There was such bad energy, and we both felt it. How could those things not be related?
And how could we both not?
We both didn't feel it, and we've both taken these before and felt it.
It was very strange. If you think about it, if they would have kicked in, they would have been kicking in as soon as we would have been walking into those dark woods. That's about a 20-minute walk from my house.
Yeah.
And we would have been tripping, laughing, not paying attention to this guy that walked by us, probably not even looking at him.
Possibly not paying attention to where we were going and where to get out.
And stumbling into these woods, setting up our podcast equipment in the middle of these woods where no one's walking by, giggling, and then we have these 3 dudes surrounding us. And then they take our livers and kidneys and rape us.
I feel...
Sounds fun.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds really terrible and terrifying, but it's not deterring me from feeling like we should reschedule this because I don't want to disappoint.
No, I do want to do the mushrooms for sure. Just this time we can't eat before.
Yeah. And I
appreciate the mushrooms for looking out.
I think we also decided that we would see how we felt and not pressure ourselves to do a podcast.
Yes.
But I have a feeling if we're having a great time, we would want to. So we'll have our fingers crossed for that.
Okay. So I don't know what we should talk about. I've been fucking so on Facebook, so obsessed with Facebook. I keep seeing like all these people from my high. It's so crazy how old I'm getting so fast. Like all these people from my high school are like having their second and third kid.
You're 27?
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
September. I'm gonna be 28 in
September what?
25th.
Oh, okay. I love learning people's birthdays. September 25th.
I have the same birthday as Will Smith.
28. I have the same birthday as Martin Luther King Jr.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's a great one.
When's your birthday?
You get a 3-day weekend, January 15th.
January 15th. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's great.
We're in alignment, 15, 25. It's only 10 apart.
It's awesome.
We're crazy people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. People are weird about birthdays. People get weird.
I think I might have told you that I'm like, I like the idea of my birthday, but then around the time of year, I get very depressed and very weird about celebrating myself and stuff. It's very strange. I'm trying to get over it.
I just don't like getting older.
Year by year, I try to get over it.
I don't want to get older. I mean, I do want to get older. Don't kill me now. No. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it's like, I want it to slow down a little bit.
It's hard. Yeah. I think
you know what I hope?
What?
I hope that I know that time isn't real, and this is me being really high right now. I know that time isn't real, but I hope that time fluctuates. Like, I feel like the last 4 years has been really fast, so I hope maybe the next 20 will be slow. You know, like, I hope time goes vroom, vroom. Well, and like, people say it goes faster as you get older.
Yeah,
I know.
Some people say that. My mom definitely insists that it keeps getting faster as you get older, but in a certain way also, I think most people would agree that it goes faster when you're happier and slower when you're not as happy.
I agree. And that's a real huge paradox, huh?
Yeah.
That, like, the more fun you have in life, the faster it goes.
Yeah, it's crazy. But something that comforts me when, like, those are some of the scariest things. Like, we're literally talking about the scariest things now, like aging, death. Like, those are things that you have no choice and you don't want to think about them, but it's happening to all of us. But,
and nobody likes it. Nobody likes it.
Exactly.
After like 22, nobody wants to age.
Exactly. But that's the point, actually, is that the comforting part of that is that there is no human out there who doesn't have to go through this.
That's the most fucked up part to me. No one's found a loophole yet. Yeah.
I actually think it's comforting. I'm like, well, even the girl who I was like the most jealous of in my life, the most perfect, gorgeous being in the whole entire world, Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande.
She's gonna grow old and die. Yeah. So
in that high ponytail too. She's gonna have a gray high ponytail.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She is gonna look fucking good doing it for way longer than any of us normals will. But
yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it's something that we all have to face. So I feel like that makes it a little easier. Like, you know people in your life who are stronger than you, and you know people in your life who are weaker than you, and they're all gonna go through it.
Every time this is a really weird thing. I have a very strange problem with the thought of dying ever. I mean, it's a huge issue with me. I had to go to therapy once for it, and then a different therapy for it. Remember, I only go to therapy once.
Yeah, no, I know that.
But I
first and last time.
Yeah, so I went to therapy once for it a few times. But
once a few times.
When I was in college, I had a roommate whose little brother died when he was 14.
That's fucked up.
And I remember, like, even then I had a problem with dying the same way I do now. It's like an anxiety thing I have constantly. And I remember thinking, like, he was 14 and whatever it is, he did it. Isn't that crazy to think of it that way? Like,
yeah.
I think of death as like, weird. I think of death as you're with your friends, you're going to a swimming hole, and you guys stumble across a giant black hole, and you throw a rock in, and it makes no sound, and someone dives in, and you never see them again. And it's like that person dove in. That's the way I think of it. I'm like, whoa, they dove into the black hole, and it could be something dope on the other side. He could have went into like a dope waterfall and like swam and.
Yeah, I think if you allow it to have more mystery than that, instead of just assuming that nothing's gonna happen, like you don't know what's gonna happen on the other side. So why assume anything?
I wish I knew. I really, honestly, more than anything,
would you prefer to know?
Yes, I wish I was like. could see ghost. I wish I was a medium. I wish I could see energy. I feel like sometimes I can, but who the fuck knows?
I think part of you believes that you can. But then the other part, there's also a skeptic because you're intelligent, so you don't want to make that decision.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a brain tumor.
You know you're not smart enough to make that decision.
That's not energy. That's a brain tumor. But no, but I wish that I could positively know that is a real thing. I wish that I could know I'm seeing a ghost, because then I would know
the fact
that there's something else.
The fact that you can't decide, I think, makes you intelligent. I really respect people who feel like maybe there is, maybe there isn't.
I hate it. I want to know that there is. I wish I was naive. I want to just believe in golden gates at heaven and a list and God and his 12 disciples, and I just want to be there, and I want him to be like holy and good and let me in, and I want to see my grandparents and like my family and them waiting for me, and I want to believe that. I wish I could more than anything in the world. I wish I just went through life
I can't believe
thinking that's what it was.
I can't believe that, but I equally can't believe that there's that's not true. I can't equally believe that there's nothing as opposed to that. But I take a lot of issue, actually. I take equal issue with people who believe that wholeheartedly and will tell you, no, that's for sure. And people who are like, no, atheism for sure.
No, because fuck off both sides.
Either of you guys, to have the fucking ego, to have the fucking ego that you really think that you're smart enough to know, go fuck yourself.
Literally go fuck yourself. If you believe, I'm sorry. If you believe strongly one way, nobody knows. But if you've had signs that God is real, I want you to tweet them to me and Alex.
For sure.
If you've had signs of seeing ghosts, if you've had signs of believing in whatever God it is, God, Allah, fucking Jeshua, whatever their names are. There's 1,000.
And I wouldn't discount that you might have. I'd be really interested in hearing what your story is, because I think that there's a lot, like there's so many just possibilities. And I also like to believe about myself, which might seem crazy. I swear, whenever I think about death, I'm like, I'm ready.
No.
I swear to God. I don't know.
That's so crazy to me.
I don't know how I would be, though, if I were like in a scenario where I'm like, okay, well, I've got about 24 hours now and I'm going to die. Like, I don't know if I would still be like, I'm fucking ready. But like, it doesn't bother me when I go to sleep at night like it did when I was a kid. It
bothers me.
When I go to sleep, I'm like, well, one day it's going to happen. I might be young. I might be old. Like, I'll try to enjoy it tomorrow. You know
what's crazy? Being in love has made it worse for me.
How?
Because now I have to worry about like more people. Like now I'm so in love. I'm like, I never don't want to do this. Like I'll be laying with Lewis at night. I'm like, I don't want us to ever die.
Oh,
isn't that so sad? That makes
really
me want to cry.
You look like you're gonna cry. Yeah. That is so sweet. Oh,
because it's like, it's so scary.
That is really scary. I feel that way about my parents sometimes. Like if I'm ever feeling super dark and I'm like, I might fucking do myself in tonight.
You're like, think of your sweet parents.
I think of my parents and I'm like, yo, if I fucking did that shit, like my mom's life would be absolutely over, and I could not do that to my mom. She's the best person ever. So I'm in it now because she fucking brought me here. Thanks a lot, Mom. I love you.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
It's scary.
I had a friend that died a couple years ago, and it was really fucked up because he was the only child.
Oof.
And he was like 20.
That's my situation, yeah.
3 or 24. He was 23 or 24. I mean, he was a chef. He went to his parents' house 2 or 3 times a week and personally cooked them dinner. They did the holidays together. It was like a very tight-knit.
In a certain way.
And it was their baby. Like, it was so bad that, like, they didn't show up to like the crash scene. They didn't want details. They didn't want to know what happened.
I get
that. They deleted their Facebooks. I felt bad because I was like checking up on his mom on Facebook and stuff, and now it's just nothing.
Damn.
I think they moved. They changed their number. Like that was their life. Like he was their child. That's it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
It's so sad.
I mean, even in any scenario.
But I wrote some really good jokes about it. I mean,
I'm sure you did, Kim.
They were fire.
Were you? I actually really used one. Him?
Yeah, Lewis brought it up in our roast battle.
I remember. I've seen it.
Yeah.
In any scenario, even when a child is not very close with their parents, I had this thought the other morning where I was like, wow, when you have a baby, you are stepping into this world where like if this person should die by chance, I mean, it is chance a lot of the time. If this person should die before you, your life is over. Like, you will not get past it. It would take, I mean, I can't imagine the type of person it would take to get past it. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then that's how you make your life go slow.
When it happens to somebody
and you're
young.
living, and then you know how people say life goes fast, but then something happens like that. I'm sure their life right now, dragging.
You don't want your life to go slow, Kim.
Oh, you're right.
You want your life to go fast.
This
and
is
be
a good
happy.
lesson. This conversation was a good lesson.
This is a really interesting conversation. Yeah. And I think this is sad stories going on, but like,
I already cried once in this podcast.
I think I got used to death when I was a kid because I have I was very close with my grandparents, and they both had 5 siblings each. Mm-hmm. So both of them actually ended up. My grandma's still in the running. Mm-hmm. One of my grandmas is still around. And my grandfather ended up being the last of his 5 siblings to survive, and a bunch of my grandmother's siblings have passed away and stuff. So I, as a young kid growing up, would see these family members who I sort of knew, just old people who I sort of knew who died, and it was kind of a good way to learn about death.
Totally, that's normal. I mean, that's how it should be.
Yeah, it was a good way, not being my direct grandparents the first time. People who I saw at family parties and understanding what it meant that they weren't going to be there anymore and stuff like that. But when I was 15, I went to private school my whole life. So the elementary school that I went to was really tight knit, small school. And I moved on to high school. And when I was 15, a girl who had gone to my elementary school, she was a few years older than me, and went to a different neighboring Catholic high school in the area. She was this soccer star for their school and whatever. She actually went to the same school that Luke Trevice went to.
Okay.
She was their female soccer star, and for the end of the year, senior year, their team got invited to travel to Florida.
Okay.
And do a travel competition down there. And her parents, according to what I've heard, didn't really want her to go. They were sort of protective. She was the oldest of 3 kids. She had a younger brother and sister. But she begged them and pleaded with them, and they were all right, you could go to Florida for this soccer tournament. Mm-hmm. And the night before the game, the girls were leaving the hotel to go across the way to get snacks. Mm-hmm. And she was waiting to cross the street on the standing on the street on the curb, and she just got hit and went down. He apparently died pretty instantly. Mm-hmm. And I was not close with this girl at all. This was just somebody who I had seen, first through 6th grade. She was a few years older than me. Mm-hmm. So I'd seen her in hallways. Her little sister was a year or 2 younger than me. I knew her.
Mm-hmm. But it still hit you hard.
Well, I went to her funeral, her wake, mm-hmm. and the line, I had been to this funeral home a bunch of times before for my own family and stuff. Mm-hmm. The line to get in was wrapped around the block because everybody like me, people who were just friends of friends who knew her, just wanted to come show support for her family. Mm-hmm. The line was so long, and they had an open casket for her. And when I got in there, I got there and I was yeah, okay, a wake. I've been to wakes before. Mm-hmm. This is fine. But seeing a young person in a coffin for the first time in my life was fucking horrifying. I remember that I was went there and I was hold it together. You don't know this girl that well. A lot of people are really upset. Don't break down.
Don't make
cry.
this about you.
Yeah, don't make this about you at all, please. But I remember my mom and I just drove home after that in silence, and I was I have to take a shower, and I got in the shower and just cried for 20 minutes.
It's rough seeing a body
so
like that.
Fucked up. It's so different when it happens to somebody who's younger as opposed to when it happens.
Oh yeah.
I mean, my grandmother died 2 summers ago at age 99, and I was oh,
it's fucked up.
I'm sorry, Graham.
My grandma has always been she's always been very it's very hard to describe how she's been loving. She's not a big hugger. She's not a big kisser, but she's very affectionate in her own way. She's not a cold person.
Yeah.
But she kind of is in a weird way. Mm-hmm. Me and my cousin described her as the perfect grandma because she didn't have any toys for us at her house. but we would beg to spend the night with her. Like she didn't have anything. It was just her.
You knew she loved you. Yeah.
Yes. And she would make us like the cereal we loved in the morning, and she would let us like, she would download these fun games on her computer, and she was just like, she would take us to thrift shops and buy us lemonades, and like but she was never like a hugger, a kisser. She never really said, I love you. You know, she'll say God bless you every time I leave. So that's just a thing Puerto Ricans say. But like now she has a Facebook. She's so cute on Facebook because she'll like my statuses and then she'll comment, I like this. She thinks she has to do both for me to get the like.
Can I friend her?
Yes, you can. So yeah, she has a Facebook, and it's so sad because I know she's getting older, and now she constantly messages me, I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you and your sister. And she like over says it. And it's making me sad because I know she's saying it because she's older. And she knows that like she won't be able to tell me soon.
Yeah, it's
and like
hard.
my grandpa just died.
It's so hard
And
seeing
so-
them get older.
But it's like making me sad because I feel like she's scared.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do to help her.
That was the worst part of, well, my grandmother was 99, and I think we all sort of accepted that she was going, and she was the only, like, I mean,
she was like, no, bitch.
She hadn't expected to make it that long to begin with. So at that point she was like, well, no, you know,
she's
fuck
like,
that.
I've been here.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm a squatter in this body officially.
sure.
I
For
stopped
sure.
paying rent, but I live here.
So like her last few days, there was some really sad shit where we were like, you know, she like couldn't really like talk anymore and stuff. And we were like, can we play your music? Like your old tapes that you like? We have your old tapes. And she was like, I don't want to hear anything. Like that was sad for us. We were like, she's like, all right, if this is what it's going to be, it's whatever.
Let's do it. It's like when you're on a roller coaster and you hear it clicking up and you're like, and you're thinking, is there a way I can get out and go climb down that ladder? But you're like, that's not realistic. I just have to go on this ride.
Yep. It's also the feeling that you take when you fucking down a fucking handful of mushrooms. You're like, well,
That's how I felt when I was doing DMT.
It.
When I was doing DMT, this feeling, I took DMT. I tried it. I don't know if I told you that.
You did. I think we talked about it on the show.
We did. You're right. And when I took it instantly, because it releases the same thing that releases when you die. We talked about that in your brain. And when I took it, I was overcome with warmth and falling asleep feeling. And it was so comfortable that like, it was so crazy. It was almost like a death experience for me because I had Lewis with me and I was like, he was like, I want to sit in this chair. You can just like make sure I'm okay from afar or whatever.
Who went first?
He did.
Okay.
Obviously. We like went back and forth like who's going to go first for so long. And I was like, you go first. Then I was like, had this feeling. I was like, what if he gets hyper aggressive for no reason, chokes me like in DMT state? But that's not how that's what
work like that.
That's what the stereotype for those kind of drugs is, I think. But that is
same
like
way
flocka.
on mushrooms. You end up just like feeling so relaxed.
Yeah. So I took that, but I remember like I was basically like on Lewis's lap hugging him while I was taking it.
Aw,
and
that sounds so comforting.
And then I was like, it felt like I was dying and I was holding him as I was dying.
Oh.
And it's very weird. I get very weird with Lewis, but like it very much felt like that. But I remember
I would enjoy that with my boyfriend.
Yeah, no, I loved it. And then once that feeling took over, I like let go of him and I laid down and I remember being like, it's okay, I can do this. And I hope that's what it's like.
Yeah, maybe that should have made you feel a little bit better about it. Like
a little bit. It did because it felt great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. It felt, if that's what releases in your brain when you die, just know it feels really good.
Well, it does. Yeah, it does. I'm sure it's not as scary. We make it out to be so scary, but like this is just what's meant to happen. It's fine.
It's fucked that we know.
It is what it is.
I hate that we know it's coming.
We know it's coming. I know that's the problem. The smarter we are, the more that we should
and
be
that's another paradox. It's like we are also the smartest, we live the best lives, and we also know we're gonna die.
It's my favorite paradox actually, because it applies to human beings as well. Just that like the smarter that you are.
Am I using paradox right?
No, you are.
Okay.
You are. The smarter that you are, the more that you could accept that you know very little. You know what I mean? And the dumber that you are, the more you think you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know nothing. We all don't know anything. It's like,
yeah.
It's crazy to think that like.
That was actually Lewis's plug for this podcast, is that we don't pretend to know anything. And I think that's something that's why we have good conversations, honestly. I'm
We're
proud
just
of
two
that.
dumbasses.
No,
just trying to have a conversation.
No, we're smart enough to fucking know that.
We're smart enough to know we're dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's important. I think more people should be like that.
Yeah, that's true. It's humbling.
Yeah.
It's humbling when you realize we're all just weird, stinky people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's weird, like, have you ever seen the videos of, like, they have these videos on YouTube where they, okay, so scientifically they talk, we're getting really weird, right? Is this too deep?
I don't think
and
so.
Not funny enough?
Honestly, I feel like we did get so serious before. I mean, we talked about death, so that's always going to be serious. But I feel like
it was also a good conversation. We
should keep going.
If I listened to this podcast, I would be like agreeing with the fact that life goes fast, and then agreeing that like life is fun and we should appreciate it, and like that's why life goes fast. So that's like a good.
I had a producer's thought before of being like, "Is this too serious?" But I feel like it's more than listenable. Keep going.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Let's be confident.
What was I saying?
You were talking.
I'm stoned.
I don't know. I think you were about to take it in a different direction, but we were talking about.
I was okay. Oh yeah. Well, okay. So, oh my God. One time I went to this funeral. I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to this. I went to a child.
Don't forget
funeral.
what you were going to say after that.
Yeah, I went to a child funeral. Okay, the thing I was going to say was about energy and vibrating sand.
Okay.
When I lived in my hometown, I worked at this like Irish bar, pub, restaurant. Actually, they're like chains. Beef O'Brady's. You know Beef O'Brady's?
No,
bro.
I'm a New Yorker.
Beef O'Brady's is the best. It's an Irish sports bar. We got a bunch of TVs,
Beef O'Brady's,
cheap processed burgers and wings, and like like American gross, like beer off the tap, like cold mugs.
Sounds nice.
So I worked at a Beef O'Brady's, and we had like regulars, and we would have people that would come in like literally every week for sports. Every night we had, and there was a family that came in whose 5-year-old daughter got a tumor. And like they would do fundraisers for like a year that we were doing fundraisers and car washes and raising money for them. Fuck. And like you would see this poor little girl. She would look like the sweetest little angel, little blonde haired, blue eyed. She looked like John Benet Ramsey, like some cute shit. And then like she came in like a year later and she was like 100 pounds heavier, like completely blown up from steroids, looked like a different child. Like it was like very sad. And then she had passed away. She had died like when she was 6, I think.
Fuck.
So we all got invited to her funeral. And we all went. Everybody wore pink. It was really beautiful. You know what I mean? They had like a funeral. We all went.
Funeral's happening tonight. You're all invited.
They put balloons on the mailbox of the church.
Beef O'Brady's. You're all invited. We're having an open bar.
They had a bounce house.
Oh my God. No invitations, you guys.
There was a clown there. Very weird.
Out of the kindness of your heart, you went. Go on.
We did a roast of her body. Her dad was in the dais.
Oh my God.
No, but this is fucking crazy.
This is the saddest fucking thing ever. Holy shit.
This little girl, she
had a vibrant personality and made art. And
No. This is fucking crazy. This little girl, and I think that either she helped set this up before she died, had pre-recorded something for her funeral.
Did the family know about it?
I don't think so. And it played during the funeral, and it was her voice, and she was like, "Hi, Mommy. Hi, Daddy. This is blank. I miss you so much. I love you. Don't cry for me." Like
she knew it was. She knew what was going down.
Yes,
maybe
and someone helped her.
I'll bet an adult spoke to her and said, "Listen."
And then she also left a private diary that she wrote in her hospital bed. And the last thing she wrote in her diary every day, and her last entry was like, "I feel God coming. It's not going to be much longer," or something like that. And she was like 6.
Yo, much respect to the adult in her life. I have cousins who are around that age and stuff like that. Much fucking respect to the adult in her life who approached her and said, "Listen, I really hate to say this,
but you're dying, kid.
This is what's happening, and I want to give you a chance to do this because you deserve this."
Yeah.
That takes that is almost going to make me cry right now.
I think that she had gone on a radio show and done an interview, and I think the radio host was kind of like, they were doing a bunch of questions. She's like, and she was very open about talking about her sickness.
That's fucking cool.
He was like, "Is there anything you'd like to say?" And they probably recorded the clip. I think it was something like
cool
that.
Of them, man. I mean, this is so sad, but to have anything like that must mean so much to the family. Like it's such a little thing, but
and that family, they kept coming into Beef O'Brady's years after that had happened, and the wife had gotten pregnant as soon as the girl died, and she had a little girl. And I remember one time I was serving them. I was like a 16-year-old food runner then, and I was serving them. I remember she was talking about, and she said let's say the little girl's name was Sam that died. It's not. And she was like, "Oh yeah, the baby crawled by Sam's room, and she waves every time."
Oh,
isn't that weird?
I mean, if that was my house and my kids, I'd feel oddly comforted by it.
Me too.
In another situation,
and I just had
weird,
overheard that, and I didn't say anything. But
also like, in that scenario, you know that if Sam is a ghost who accepted her death before she died. So she's not a ghost with a vengeance.
No, she's chill and calm and like nice. So she's at home still.
You have that assurance. She just wants to be with her family for a little while longer. I'd get that.
That's so sad.
I hope the ghost world is real. I hope we go somewhere, Kim. Fuck, I do. I don't know though.
I remember when I was little, I used to like get really depressed, and I would think like, oh, when you die, it's just black forever. I would think that when I was like 10. And I would say like over and over, and like, and forever and forever and forever and forever, and it's just black. You're in a black box.
I don't know if I told you on air or
who believes that? That's so awful.
I remember like, yeah, I thought fucking Catholicism was such bullshit that I convinced my family that on Christmas we should have a birthday cake for Jesus, just so that I could have birthday cake.
Oh, hilarious.
I was like, yeah.
Did that work?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My mom thought it was the sweetest thing ever, but meanwhile in church
I was being like, manipulative.
Yeah, I was like, guys, you guys are dumb.
You guys are dumb.
This is not reasonable.
I got into like, I was trying to be a church girl for a little bit when I was like, probably like, I dabbled in church like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, where I would be like, I'm going to go to church. Like every like 6 months, it'd be like, let's start going to church with my friend. She'd be like, that's good. We should get closer to God.
I was never about it.
Then we would be like, nah, let's go to a party. And then we'd be bad again. It was like that. That's how like I was.
For a while, I didn't believe in God at all. And now I think that was... Now I've what I said before, I think it's just as stupid as believing wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I'm just like, I hope something's there, and I feel like energy is important. And also you were gonna
Oh yeah. So have you ever seen the videos of how energy, yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Energy vibrates on sand.
Yeah. They put it on one of those square
black paper things.
Yeah.
And if you guys go to YouTube and you put in sand vibration patterns, it's really crazy because they put a black square paper on top of something that has vibrational frequencies that they can turn up and down. Basically like a piece of paper on like a shaking pad or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just a plane that vibrates at different frequencies that you could input, I guess.
If your coffee table could vibrate at different frequencies and it was black and you put sand on top of it, on top of it, that's what it looks like. And it's really crazy because the vibrations, and it makes sense if you think about it. If they're the same vibrations, that they would go the same way and it would become a pattern.
Yeah.
But the vibrations are always symmetrical. And if you turn up the frequency, the geometric sequences get more confusing.
It's one of the most insane things you've ever seen. They're like square mandala
I almost cried when I watched this. Yeah. It was like mind blowing to me.
I'm just going to turn the sound off. I feel like we don't need it.
No, we don't need the sound. And we should probably just fast forward. Yeah. A little bit. This is crazy. What is this? It looks like, it's salt. It's white salt on a black top. And it's like the first one is a low frequency and it's like a pretty cool pattern.
345 hertz was like barely a pattern at all.
And then this one's like, they look like
This is an 8-sided one at about 1,000
circles
hertz.
At 1,000 hertz. This is whoa. This is
well past 12-sided at almost 2,000 hertz.
It's just getting more complicated. They look like crazy different crop tops, and they change right before your eyes with the vibrational pattern, and they are always symmetrical. It's always
they look like crazy crop tops. I'm trying to.
I mean, not crop tops, crop circles.
Crop circles. Yeah. Okay.
Like weird patterns or like corn mazes, like weird shit like that.
Yes.
Mandalas. You're right.
Mandalas for sure. Yeah.
Very Mandela like, very trippy, very much hallucinogenic patterns.
Yeah. Like Tibetan style art.
Weird.
Really cool. And I
want to see the end
science.
where it's like
just
really
energy.
high frequency.
I'll share this on my Twitter.
Oh, it's so cool. Oh, this one's cool because if you look up the one that has colors, because the colors split up.
Do they? Well,
Or maybe it's the light that changes. Is it the light?
energy is so amazing. There's so much that we can't see, guys.
Yeah. It's really weird. And like if there's also like different videos like of water where if it's like you add a vibration, the spout just like has like a.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
Oh my God, those are crazy. We should watch one of those next week.
But it just goes to show that like energy is there, you just can't see it.
Yeah. I mean, the way that sound waves are hitting our ears and we're not seeing them, but they could literally warp the shape of running water. I mean,
but it's like
they're
weird.
so powerful.
It's everything. It's made up of everything. And like everything, every single thing that you're looking at, everything around you, your own skin, your tongue, your clothes, like the TV in front of you, every single thing has always existed. And it's just been more spaced out.
Yeah, there's a lot to be amazed about.
Like this couch could have been a soldier in the Korean War. Isn't that crazy? Like parts of it, technically.
You think this couch was a soldier?
Maybe.
I'm sitting on him.
That's probably what he wanted. He's like, I just want to fucking, he was like sitting in the Korean War and he was like laying back with like a straw in his mouth. He's like, you know what I want, Billy? I don't know why he sounded like that, but he did. And Billy's like, what? And he's like, I just want to be on a couch forever and have white chicks sitting on me. And now this is it.
He's living the dream. Mm-hmm. Do you want to wrap up with our new segment?
Yeah. We got deep in this podcast. We are sorry.
No, I mean, let's not apologize.
You're right. We're not sorry. Fuck off.
No, enjoy. Enjoy, everybody. Enjoy.
Okay, don't fuck off. We're not sorry, but also listen.
Yeah. That's the kind of vibes I want to give out in everyday life. I'm
right.
Not sorry, but listen.
It's a good t-shirt.
It's a great t-shirt.
I'm not sorry, but listen.
So we should like have an intro for our segment. Would you rather? It's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be that one. Cut that out.
How about? Would you rather?
That was good.
No.
Yeah. No. I'm in.
It's pretty lame too.
I'm fucking easy, Kim. You got me.
No, it's not good enough. Give me another one.
Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds.
I guess we're not
I got this.
We're not jingle makers, huh? It's not really the talent I've practiced before.
Oh, would you rather?
Whoa.
How did you like
I
that?
was kind of into that one. Oh, would you rather? Oh, people are going to hate it. Let's do it.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the would you rather you have for me?
Okay, this one comes from my much respected boss, Ralph Sutton, actually.
Okay, good.
It was such a good would you rather that I had to pass it on. I had to
can't
pass
wait.
it forward.
I can't wait.
I hope I didn't ask this of you already.
Ooh, I have a good one for you and I'm done. Okay, go.
I really hope I didn't ask it.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a hypothetical leading into a would you rather.
Okay.
Hypothetically, you are dating this guy. Let's make it really hypothetical. It's not Lewis, okay? You're dating a guy.
Thank God. Okay.
You're dating a guy for a little while, and you know already that he has a past. He spent about 5 years in prison, right? And you don't know the details. You haven't pressed him on them, but you know that he had a rough time one way or another, right? When things come to light about what happened, when he feels intimate enough with you to share
tell me what
his prison experience,
okay,
would you rather he tells you that he had a really rough time in there because, you know, he had one choice or another. He had to either rape or get raped, and, you know, he wasn't gonna sit down and take it, so he fucking dealt it out. He was the man on the block, and he did what he had to do. He didn't like it, but he just had to maintain his spot so that he didn't get fucking ass fucked.
Right. Okay.
Or
I'm soaked.
would you rather?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sliding off this couch. Keep going.
Was tough in there. He just had to lay low. And
are you asking me if I'd rather have a bottom or a top?
Yeah, I mean, would you rather? But he spent 5 years in prison. You're sort of in love with this guy. You've been dating him for like a year.
I 100% want the top. Is this even a question?
I thought it was a really good question because I thought some girls might struggle with it. But my immediate answer to Ralph was I would way rather be with the rapist.
100%.
Right?
Yes. I'm not a bitches about have been butthole raped multiple times.
Girls, can you I feel like we should ask for like people to answer our tweets as well, like to tweet their answers for our would you rathers, as well as propose new would you rathers for each week's segment.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, please tell us what you would rather do, you guys.
This is
ladies.
mostly for the ladies. Yeah, this does not apply
not really
to
dudes because either
unless
way they'll be like, I love it.
If you're a gay dude, I do want to hear your response. Actually,
yes,
your lover is in this same scenario with your lover.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, ladies, answer that question. I have a good one for you. I mean, I'll take the rapist any day. That's my answer. Any day.
Me too.
I just want and if he's like, I didn't like it, then he's not really a rapist. He just had to do, I believe in survival, bitch. Sorry.
I mean, I think it's a clear ass answer for sure, but like I could see
other people choosing the other one.
I think it's less aggressive. I think it's a great would you rather. I was very impressed with Ralph when he asked me.
Did you have to think about it? I didn't even have to think about it.
Not even for a fucking second.
Yeah, me neither. It's like a stern rapist.
Especially, guys, please tweet us if you would have to think about it for a minute.
Yeah. I have a really good one that I asked my friends over drunken mimosas. This is a dark one.
Okay, I'm excited.
And I'm really excited to find out. This is a really hard question.
I'm going to give you my gut fucking answer.
Okay, so Alex.
Yeah, Kim.
Me and you.
Yeah.
Best friends. You're one of my best friends in New York.
You're one of my best friends.
Walking down the street.
Yeah.
And there is a little boy.
Okay.
He's 7 years old.
Okay.
Suddenly a man comes out.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs me and the little boy, and he has a gun. A strange little boy who's only 7, innocent life. Or me, who's had a good life. And he says, one of these people have to die right now.
I mean, gut answer?
Right now. Gut answer.
The little boy.
Yeah, I know. My friend asked me that. She was like, what would you do? And I was like, I'd look at that little boy and I'd be like, close your eyes. Close your eyes, baby.
I'm really sorry.
I'd pretend I was going to choose her. I'd be like, you don't want to see this. And I'd just point at him as soon as his eyes are closed. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's a really fucked up moral dilemma. To have a friend that you personally...
So this was a really good one because it sucks, but I would definitely... I think that I would apologize straight fucking to his face.
Yeah.
I know that would give him that moment of dread, but like, I'd be like, I wouldn't know how else to react. If it's literally a moment, I know that I know myself well enough to say that I would look at the little boy and be like, I'm really sorry.
I would just tell him to close his eyes. I wouldn't even want him to know it was coming, but I would not. I could not.
Would you think quickly enough to know to tell him to close his eyes?
Yeah, I'd just be like, close your eyes.
No, I'd fucking fuck that up.
I'd just be like, close. I mean, who knows what I would do in the moment, but like, I feel like I would definitely choose you.
That's the more humane thing to do.
Because how fucked up would it be to look at me and be like, sorry?
I mean,
as we were just walking together, like, I'm like, damn, I didn't even have the friend advantage.
No, I couldn't do that. But also, one of the first 3 things that came into my mind was like, how would Lewis? I couldn't be like, you didn't choose Kim. You didn't choose Kim. You didn't choose Kim. You chose this little fuck face.
My whole argument was that I know that I'm a good person, and what if this kid grew up to be a molester?
If it's you or baby James, you're going down.
Oh yeah, no,
and I know that you wouldn't even mind. So like,
no, I couldn't. I mean, I'd
same
have
with
to
me.
go.
I swear to God, I'd be like, Kim, it's fine.
Yeah, if it's me or baby James, it's baby James.
Tell my parents what the scenario was. They'll understand.
Yeah. I'd be like, I get it. If you were like you, I'd be like,
please bring James over to their house now and then let them play with him and shit.
I was like, tell your father to never date again. Yeah, that's mine. So, guys, answer that question. Would you choose the child or your best friend? I saw a sketch one time, and it was really funny. And it was like a family in their living room with their 2 little boys, and 2 robbers came in, and they're like, right now, choose one of your kids. I'm going to kill one of them. Choose one of your kids. She's like, no. It's like, choose one of them or they both die. And she's like, him. And he goes, and he puts the gun away. He's like, do what you will with that. And then they just leave the house.
That's great.
And the little kid's like, you chose me. And then the sketch ends.
It's fucked up. I love it.
All right. On that note, I guess we could get out of here. My name's Kim Congdon.
Alex Scarlato.
Bye.
Bye, guys.